कि अमानतों पहुंचा दो हकदारों के तरफ, और जब लोगों के बीच में फैसला करो तो इंसाफ के साथ फैसला करो। बेशक अल्लाह ताला अच्छी नसीहत करने वाला है और वो ही रब पाक देखने वाला और सुनने वाला है। बेशक अल्लाह ताला तव्हांखे हुकुम थो करे त अमानतूं संदसि हक़दारनि मालिकनि खे पहुचाए ॾियो। जेकॾहिं माण्हुनि जे विच में फ़ैसिलो करियो त इंसाफ़ सां हुकुम करियो। बेशक अल्लाह ताला जेका अव्हांखे नसीहत थो करे सा चङी आहे, छो त अल्लाह ताला ॿुधंदड़ ऐं ॾिसंदड़ आहे। वमा अलैना इल्लल बलाग।
खान साहब से गुजारिश है कि उर्दू में नाते शरीफ पेश करें।
अस्सलामु अलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। सल्ले अला नबीना सल्ले अला मुहम्मदिन सल्ले अला शफीना सल्ले अला मुहम्मदिन। मुस्तफ़ा से जब तुम्हारा सिलसिला मिल जाएगा, मुस्तफ़ा से जब तुम्हारा सिलसिला मिल जाएगा, मुस्तफ़ा से जब तुम्हारा सिलसिला मिल जाएगा, खुद बखुद है ढूंढने वालों खुदा मिल जाएगा, खुद बखुद है ढूंढने वालों खुदा मिल जाएगा। क्या बताऊं इनके दर से क्या मिल जाएगा, क्या बताऊं इनके दर से क्या मिल जाएगा, जो तलब होगी तलब से भी सिवा मिल जाएगा। इनके सदके में खुदा से मांग कर देखे कोई, इनके सदके में खुदा से मांग कर देखे कोई, मुद्दई के लब हिलेंगे मुद्दा मिल जाएगा। गम नहीं गुम हो भी जाए राह फिरदौसे बरी, गम नहीं गुम हो भी जाए राह फिरदौसे बरी, पंजतन का नाम लेगा रास्ता मिल जाएगा, पंजतन का नाम लेगा, रास्ता मिल जाएगा। मुस्तफ़ा से जब तुम्हारा सिलसिला मिल जाएगा, खुद ब खुद है ढूंढने वालों खुदा मिल जाएगा।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। शुक्रिया मिस्टर स्पीकर। मौलवी साहब से दुआ की गुजारिश है, शहीद जुल्फ़िकार अली भुट्टो, मीर मुर्तज़ा भुट्टो, मीर शाहनवाज़ भुट्टो, मादरे जमहूरियत बेगम नुसरत भुट्टो साहिबा, अल्लाह ताला क़यामत के दिन अपने क़ुर्ब में जगह दे। पाकिस्तान की सलामती और बका, मेरे सूबे मेहरान धरती की सलामती और बका, इसमें तमाम रहने वालों को अल्लाह अपनी अमान में रखे। सिंध में पानी की कमी है, अल्लाह से दुआ करें कि पानी की कमी पूरी हो और बंजर ज़मीनें सैराब हो सकें। बहुत शुक्रिया मिस्टर स्पीकर।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। शुक्रिया मिस्टर स्पीकर। सबसे पहले दुआ की दरख्वास्त है फ़लस्तीन और कश्मीर के मज़लूम मुसलमानों के लिए, अल्लाह ताला उनकी मदद फरमाए। जमात इस्लामी नॉर्थ कराची, शुमाली कराची के ज़िम्मेदार मकसूद मलिक साहब सुबह इंतकाल कर गए, कोविड से अलील थे, उनके लिए दुआए मग़फ़रत की दरख्वास्त है। जनाब अब्दुल शकूर बलोच साहब पब्लिक एड कमेटी लियारी के नायब सदर हैं, इनके छोटे भाई रशीद बलोच साहब का रज़ाए इलाही से इंतकाल हो गया है, उनके लिए खुसूसी दुआ की दरख्वास्त है।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। कारी साहब से गुजारिश है दुआ करें। मेरे हलके में मोहम्मद ज़ुबैर और उसकी
आपको कहीं जाना है, आप बैठे, दुआ हो रही है, बैठ जाएं।
एक्सीडेंट में उनका
जाना है तो घूम फिर के आ जाएं।
मोहम्मद ज़ुबैर और उसकी अहलिया हाबरेवर रोड पर एक्सीडेंट की बिना पर उनका इंतकाल हो गया। दुआ करें अल्लाह ताला उनके दर्जात बुलंद फरमाए।
वफ़ात पा गए हैं, अल्लाह पाक से दुआ करें कि अल्लाह ताला उनके दर्जात बुलंद अता फरमाए और उनके जितने भी लवाइकीन उनको सब्र जमील अता फरमाए।
दो रोज़ कबल इंतहाई सीनियर और कोहना मश्क सहाफ़ी राजा तारिक भाई, जिनको हम गुज़िश्ता कई दहाइयों से चाहे गर्मी हो, धूप हो, सर्दी हो, तूफ़ान हो, बिला किसी गर्ज़ व ग़ायत के वो अपनी प्रोफेशनल ज़िम्मेदारियाँ
आप दुआ किसके लिए करा रहे हैं
निभा रहे थे। राजा तारिक भाई जो सीनियर सहाफ़ी हैं, उनका इंतकाल हुआ है। उनके इसाले सवाब के लिए, उनके दर्जात की बुलंदी के लिए और उनके अहल खाना के सब्र तहम्मुल के लिए दुआ की दरख्वास्त।
नंद कुमार साहब जूते तो नीचे कर लें, थोड़ी बेहुरमती नहीं करें असेंबली की। नहीं, आप पैर नीचे कर लें, आपके लिए मैंने सीट्स मंगाई हैं, सबको सीट्स मिल जाएंगी, बट डोंट डिसग्रेस द असेंबली हॉल प्लीज़। जी
शुक्रिया स्पीकर साहब। स्पीकर साहब, सबसे पहले हमारे कायद आज़म मोहम्मद अली जिन्ना कारी साहब से गुजारिश है कि उनको दुआ में याद रखें। उसके साथ साथ सर, जो मुसलमान फ़लस्तीन में, कश्मीर में जो ज़िंदगी गुजार रहे हैं बड़ी मुश्किलात में, उनके लिए दुआ की गुजारिश है कि उनके लिए ज़रूर दुआ की जाए। उसके अलावा सर, कल की तारीख़ में एक दफ़ा वापस, पिछले दिनों भी बहुत दफ़ा आपसे अर्ज़ किया है कि बच्चे जो हैं हमारे शहर में सूबे में कुत्ते के काटने से मर रहे हैं। तो एक बच्चा जो है वो कल सूबे सिंध का और कुत्ते के काटने से मर गया है, क्योंकि इस सूबे के अंदर उस बच्चे के लिए वैक्सीन नहीं थी। तो कारी साहब दुआ करें कि अल्लाह ताला तौफीक अता फरमाए इस सूबे के वज़ीर आला को कि अपने बजट के अंदर कुछ वैक्सीन्स के लिए भी बजट रख लें थोड़ा सा। उसके साथ साथ स्पीकर साहब इस साल में अंदाजन कोई 450 बच्चे घर में इंतकाल।
आप बैठ जाएं, आप दुआ करा लें, आप बैठ जाएं जी। रबिस्तान खान।
शुक्रिया जनाब स्पीकर।
स्पीकर साहब शुक्रिया, मेरी दुआ मुकम्मल नहीं। गुजारिश कर रहा था कारी साहब से कि जो बच्चे कुत्ते के काटने से इस सूबे में मर गए।
आप बोलें।
शुक्रिया जनाब स्पीकर। स्पीकर साहब, मैं कायद आज़म मोहम्मद अली जिन्ना के लिए दुआ, हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर इमरान खान, अल्लाह ताला उनको अपने हिफ्ज़ व अमान में रखे, उनके लिए दुआ, और कोरोना से जो लोग फौत हो चुके हैं उनके लिए दुआ, और जो बीमार हैं कारी साहब से दरख्वास्त करूंगा कि उनकी जल्द सेहतयाबी के लिए दुआ करें।
जी हनीफ साहब, जावेद हनीफ साहब।
सर, आज खबर है सर कि 50 बच्चे रत्तो डेरों में एड्स से मर गए हैं सर। तो मेरी कारी साहब से दरख्वास्त है कि उनके लिए, उनके नवाइकीन के लिए दुआ करें। और दूसरा है कि चीफ जस्टिस पाकिस्तान ने कहा कि सिंध गवर्नमेंट एग्जिस्ट नहीं करती है, मतलब महरूम हो गई सिंध गवर्नमेंट। तो मेरी कारी साहब से दुआ है कि सिंध गवर्नमेंट के महरूम के लिए भी दुआ करें
जी।
शुक्रिया स्पीकर साहब। कोयटा में दहशतगर्दों का सिक्योरिटी फोर्स पर हमला, जिसके नतीजे में 4 हल्का शहीद हो गए, उनकी माफ़रत के लिए दुआ। और 11 जून को ज़ाहिर अली सैयद कराची में कार छीनने के दौरान इनकी जान चली गई। मायनाज इंजीनियर थे, इनकी माफ़रत और इनके अहले खाना को सब्र के लिए दुआ।
भाई इधर कुर्सी ले आओ।
शुक्रिया।
सिर्फ कुर्सी ले आओ जी।
शुक्रिया स्पीकर साहब। मैं गुज़िश्ता दिनों मेरे चचा एतमाद सिद्दीकी और मेरे कज़न नदीम सिद्दीकी, हमारे चचा, उनका इंतकाल हुआ है। अल्लाह ताला उनके दर्जात बुलंद करे, उनकी फैमिली को सब्र जमील दे। हमारे बहुत प्यारे साथी सहाफ़ी राजा तारिक भी गुज़िश्ता दिनों अल्लाह को प्यारे हुए, उनकी मग़फ़रत के लिए भी दुआ कि अल्लाह ताला उनके भी दर्जात बुलंद करे।
सर
जाम साहब
जी, थैंक यू सर। सर, मेरे इलाके के मोअज़्ज़िज़ डॉक्टर खैर मोहम्मद गाहो के वालिद जनाब कुल मोहम्मद गाहो का इंतकाल हो गया, उनके लिए दुआए मग़फ़िरत। सर, साईं खुर्शीद शाह साहब के भतीजे जो हैं उनका इंतकाल हो गया है, उनके लिए दुआए मग़फ़िरत मौलवी साहब से गुजारिश है। और सर, इसके साथ साथ मैं मौलवी साहब को कहूँगा मेहरबानी करके सर ये भी दुआ करें कि झूठ बोलने वालों को अल्लाह जो है सच बोलने की तौफ़ीक़ अता फ़रमाए। हमारे पास फिर भी कराची में 8 सर्जन हैं, KP में 1 है सर, और मेयो हॉस्पिटल में तो एक चपड़ासी ने ऑपरेशन कर दिया था। तो अल्लाह उन सबको भी जो है हिदायत अता फ़रमाए। बड़ी मेहरबानी सर, थैंक यू।
सर मुझे गुजारिश है तो अगूणे होम मिनिस्टर मोहतरम मंजूर हुसैन वसाण जो भाव नादर वसाण जो वफ़ात थी वियो आहे, पाण असांजे MP पंहिंजे मुनवर अली वसाण जो मामो बि थियो। मुंहिंजी गुज़ारिश आहे त महिरबानी करे हुन दुआ मग़फ़रत घुरी वञे। महिरबानी सर।
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन अर्रहमानिर रहीम मालिकि यौमिद्दीन इय्याका नअबुदु व इय्याका नस्तईन इहदिना सिरातल मुस्तक़ीम सिरातल लज़ीना अनअमता अलैहिम गैरिल मग़दूबि अलैहिम वलद्दाल्लीन। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। क़ुल हुवल्लाहु अहद अल्लाहुस समद लम यलिद व लम यूलद व लम यकुल लहू कुफुवन अहद। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। क़ुल हुवल्लाहु अहद अल्लाहुस समद लम यलिद व लम यूलद व लम यकुल लहू कुफुवन अहद। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। क़ुल हुवल्लाहु अहद अल्लाहुस समद लम यलिद व लम यूलद व लम यकुल लहू कुफुवन अहद। दुआ अल-फातिहा। اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. یا الہ العالمین یا رب العالمین جے تبا موت یا شہادت موت یا عزت مام جن جن لا چوا خصوصی قائد اعظم محمد علی جناح اے اسان سندھ جی بہادر لیڈر شہید بے نظیر بھٹو اے جن جن لا اللہ چوا مری ویلا شہیدن جلا اللہ سمورن جی بخشش فرما اللہ سمورن جی مغفرت فرما اللہ سمورن کے جنت الفردوس نصیب فرما اللہ سمورن کے تاجدار ختم نبوت حضرت محمد مصطفیٰ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم جی شفاعت کبرا نصیب کرے جنت میں اعلیٰ درجہ نصیب فرما اللہ پیرن کے صبر جمیل سمالا مال فرما اللہ جے کے روڈ آئیں گھرن اسپتال بیمارن یا کرونا مبتلا اللہ سمورن جی بیمار کے شفا کلی نصیب فرما صحت عطا فرما تندرستی عطا فرما اللہ ملک پاکستان جے عوام جی حفاظت فرما اللہ جے کے ان مقدس عوام ویٹھا تھی سی ایم سا سانگا دوگل جے کے بھی عزت پا ممبر ویٹھا تھی اللہ سمورن جی حفاظت فرما اللہ سمورن جے حال جے متھوں رحم فرما اللہ ان عزت فلو رتے
دوست کافی آگئے ہیں یہاں تو میں نے ایز اے اسپیشل کیس میں نے ان کو کہا ہے کہ آپ ساری سیٹیں لگائیں تاکہ سب پارٹیسپیٹ کریں اور پھر مجھے میسج ملا کہ جو کل میٹنگ ہوئی تھی وہ میٹنگ ہم نہیں مانتے. اگر آپ لوگ نہیں مانتے تو اس کا مقصد یہ ہے کہ ہاؤس کا جو ڈیکورم ہے وہ خراب کرنا ہے اینڈ وہ نہ کریں تو میری ایک گزارش ہے کیونکہ دنیا آپ کو دیکھ رہی ہے. ایون ٹوڈے ہمارے پاس کاؤنسل جنرل صاحبان بھی آ چکے ہیں ہاؤس میں, وہ بھی دیکھیں گے آپ لوگوں کی کارکردگی اور جو طریقہ کار ہے ہمیشہ سیشن کا اسی طریقے سے اگر ہم چلیں گے تو اچھا ہوگا کیونکہ سب کو سیٹس میں وہ میٹنگ ہم نہیں مانتے. اگر آپ دس از ناٹ کہ تو ہول سیشن ول بی 100% ہاؤس کا جو ڈیکورم ہے جیسا کہ ہم کرنا ہے 50% پہ آئیں گے. لیکن ٹوڈے لوکنگ ایٹ آل دی کالیگ, آپ میرے کالیگز ہیں اور میں چاہتا ہوں کہ آپ لوگ کی پرفارمنس جو ہے جو آپ کہنا چاہ رہے ہیں آپ بھلی کہیں, آپ آرام سے بیٹھیں. ورنہ ہمارا پلان یہ تھا کہ آپ کچھ دوست آتے 50% کے حساب سے تقریر کر کے چلے آتے, کچھ لوگ آن لائن ہوتے تو زیادہ بہتر تھا. لیکن خیر اب ہم نے اپنی کارروائی شروع کرنی ہے. تو is there any leave application?
No sir, no any leave application.
Now financial business presentation of the budget statement for the year 2021-22 and supplementary budget statement for the year 2020-21. Mr. Chief Minister. نہیں دیکھیں نہیں ابھی دس از ناٹ دا وے یہ آنریبل چیف منسٹر صاحب آپ بولیں, یہ کوئی طریقہ کار نہیں ہے. ایک تو آپ لوگ اپنی کمٹمنٹ نہیں رکھتے ہیں. یو نیور کیپ یور کمٹمنٹس, یو آلویز ٹرن اراؤنڈ, ایک بات کہہ کے پھر آپ دوسری بات کرتے ہیں, مس یوز کرتے ہیں. دس از ناٹ دا وے. نو نہیں, یہ کوئی طریقہ نہیں ہے. जी चीफ मिनिस्टर साहब.
Sir, I rise to present the budget statement for the year 2021-22 and the supplementary budget statement for the year 2020-21.
अब आपको कुर्सी मिल गई तो बैठ जाए ना, या बोले तो मैं कुर्सी निकलवा दूं आपको खड़ा होना है. एक काम करें, कुर्सी नहीं थी तो आप खड़े थे, अब मैंने खास आप लोगों के लिए कुर्सी मंगाई है, तो प्लीज सिट डाउन. जी सर. जी चीफ मिनिस्टर साहब. आप बोलें. ऑनरेबल चीफ मिनिस्टर साहब आप बोलें.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Mr. Speaker, sir, I express my gratitude to Almighty Allah, who has bestowed upon me the privilege to stand before this august house and present the budget for the fiscal year 2021-22. Sir, I am pleased to announce that for the next financial year, we are not proposing any new tax. I am grateful to Almighty Allah for putting us on a persistent path to progress and development. Sir, I would like to begin by thanking the people of Sindh for reposing trust on us, and it is incumbent upon us to live up to their expectations. Ever since Pakistan People's Party was founded, people have supported the People Peace Program. People of Sindh recognized and validated our services for the province by thrusting the reins of governance into our hands in successive elections, especially in general election 2018, where we secured the highest number of votes and the highest number of seats to date. And we feel that this responsibility to serve more than ever before. Our founding father, Qudair-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah said, if we want to make the great state of Pakistan happy and prosperous, we would wholly and solely concentrate on well-being of the people, and especially the masses. And the Pakistan People's Party has always espoused these values of Qudair-e-Azam. Qudair-e-Azam Shaheed Zulfikar Ali Bhutto and Shaheed Mohtama Benazir Bhutto scrupulously followed the teaching of Qudair-e-Azam and worked towards the well-being of common people. Qudair-e-Azam Shaheed Zulfikar Ali Bhutto said, power must pass the people or everything will perish. The policy was centered on the idea of the welfare of common person, and they strove relentlessly during their lives and embraced martyrdom to achieve these goals. As Mohtama Benazir Bhutto Shaheed said, Pakistan's future viability, stability and security lie in empowering its people and building institutions. Mr. Speaker, it is my honor to convey to this House that under the unmatched and dynamic leadership of PPP Chairman Bilawal Bhutto Zardari and President Asif Ali Zardari, the Pakistan People's Party and its government has been successful in staying true to its commitment to improve the service delivery and continue to work persistently for the welfare of the uplift of the people of Sindh. We have been fortunate to benefit from our leadership, but we have also been diligent, and diligence is the mother of good fortune. The budget of 2021-22 has been prepared in consonance with the collective visions of our leaders, which also meet the moment. Pakistan People's Party ensured that people of Sindh have a say in setting out priorities of the government. For this purpose, this year's budget has also been set out in the spirit of participatory governance aimed towards the establishment of just, equitable and egalitarian society. We believe in politics of inclusion. We believe in politics of participation. Thus, we will try to ensure that decisions are transparent and made with participation of citizens. Our aim is the empowerment of people through policies and programs that facilitate growth and development and help us move towards medium and long-term economic growth. Growth which is not for few but for the many. I am thankful to all our honourable MPs from Treasury side especially for the support and look forward to the cooperation in future. Mr. Speaker, a year ago we announced our initial response to coronavirus. What was originally thought to be a temporary disruption to our way of life has fundamentally altered it. People are still being told to stay in their homes. Businesses have been ordered to close early. Thousands of people are in hospital. Much has changed, but one thing has stayed the same. I said we would do whatever it takes, and we have done it, and we will do so. The preparation of budget was undertaken in circumstances like never before. We knew of calamities that have affected a country or a region within a country. But what we have endured with COVID-19 through 2021 is sui generis. When I presented the budget 2020-21, we could not imagine that our people, as those in other provinces, would have endured the loss of near and dear ones and suffer hardship brought about to a health crisis. Mr. Speaker, our rich history serves as concrete evidence of how we have overcome our challenge by the dint of our own efforts and resilience. Our economic situation may be far from perfect, and adequate help may not be forthcoming. But on behalf of people of Sindh, I can say that we will pass this ordeal with flying colours, the way we have done so often in the past. I am reminded of the hauntingly beautiful words of great poet Dr. Muhammad Allama Iqbal, and I quote, जिंदा रहना है तो हालात से डरना कैसा, जंग आज़िम हो तो लश्कर नहीं दिखे जाते. Mr. Speaker, the economic meltdown due to COVID-19 and inflation has severely affected the life of ordinary citizens. We are sensitive to the hardship being faced by the common man. It causes background, and we stretched our resources, rolled out interventions, and could provide some immediate relief. Additionally, we began some programs for empowering the vulnerable sections of our society to gradually move towards inclusive growth. So there are a number of steps that we've taken, and I've listed these in the budget book. Budget making is always a daunting task, especially when global economy is suffering from pandemic and uncertainty, and then there are serious resource constraints. This monsoon season has brought heavy rainfall to Karachi than on previous occasions. We had more rainfall in one day than in 92 years. Urban flooding had affected major areas of the city, especially District Central, due to the ill-designed Green Line project, Yusuf Road, District Maleen, Wazir Mention and District South and DHA. Despite such impediments, we took extraordinary measures and carried out rapid need assessment for Ashura processions for its peaceful culmination. Against all odds, we have tried to present a different budget and given people of the province relief and opportunity, which they expect from us. Different, not in words, but in spirit and in content. We have taken a pro-state to facilitate a budget which is clearly pro-people and pro-poor. Sir, as stated earlier, the focus of this budget is the overall betterment and welfare of the people, for which efficient and optimal utilization of resources is mandatory. I want to confidently state that our government is fully prepared to support and facilitate the economic and social foundation reset. The budget provides every opportunity to raise and capture the pace that needs for sustainable growth. We aim to provide towards peaceful, prosperous Sindh by protecting the most vulnerable people from the impact of pandemic and bringing about sustainable socio-economic and infrastructure and human resource development. Mr. Speaker, I want to say with great regret that the actual transfers from the federal government to the government of Sindh in the fiscal year always fall short of the estimate provided. As FPR falls short in collection of its targets, the federal government is the major contributor to Sindh finances, comprising 72.5% in its entirety. It is a fact that these shares inevitably fall short of the estimates we have provided every year. As a result, our development expenditure has to be adjusted to offset the effect. However, it is our desire to work in close coordination with the federal government in the larger interest of the people of Pakistan to overcome these issues. We thus expect that the federal government would also support us in our endeavors and help to come with viable solutions to issues faced by Sindh. Sir, I'll just tell you that out of the total transfers promised of 760 billion, we've actually received 613 billion to date, and we are still short of 147 billion rupees. The federal government, as always, has failed to deliver to the people of Pakistan, and the figures speak for themselves. Mr. Speaker, before I commence revised estimates of 2020-21, I want to make a moment to acknowledge how isolating and distancing seemed like insurmountable challenges for a country like ours that has people coming together in times of crisis. It hurt us in many ways. I bow my head in respect of every citizen for the endurance shown in facing what was undeniably a tough year. For all our physical and mental well-being, having said that, we are all reminded and again that the fight against COVID-19 continues in 2020-21. Sir, here I salute the frontline workers, the doctors, the nurses, the paramedics, technicians, our law enforcement agencies, the administration, and our media workers who have risked their lives to protect us. With your permission, sir, let me now present before the August House the fiscal performance of the government during the current financial year. Again, an estimated budgetary amount of rupees 1073.7 billion, the revised estimate of the province for current financial year 2020-21 stands at rupees 960.4 billion. As mentioned earlier, we are facing shortfall on account of federal transfers. During 11 months of this financial year, against initial budgeted receipts of 760 billion, we have only received rupees 613 billion, leaving a shortfall of 147 billion which the federal government has to deliver in the month of June, and I can say that as always they will fail in delivering to the people of Pakistan. The provincial tax receipts are not fees revised to 242.9 billion against an estimated 13.4 billion. On the expenditure side, budget has been revised from 968.99 billion to rupees 954.4 billion. The annual development expenditure is revised down from 160.3 billion to 160.3 billion from 232 billion rupees. There has been a severe financial crunch due to reduced resources from federal government and low collection from provincial resources due to COVID. Provincial ADP, which was 228 billion in year 2019-20, was reduced to 170 billion in 2020-21. The revised estimates of current ADP will be about 113 billion. Despite various constraints, stakeholders department are likely to complete 460 schemes during 2020-21. By the end of current financial year, we will be able to spend 80% of the development budget, that is 15% higher than last year's financial year. It reflects on a growing capacity and a rational financial management. So for the next financial year 2021, we are estimating a total budget of 1,452 billion rupees, as against budget estimates of 1.22 trillion for current financial year. This is an overall increase of 19%. Receipts from federal government on account of revenue assignments, trade transfers and grants are estimated at rupees 869.68 billion, which contribute 72.5% of total receipts of the province. It is an increase of 4.6% over estimates of 760.3 billion in the last year. However, budget estimates of trade transfers for next financial year have decreased substantially by approximately 20.6% to rupees 49.5 billion from the budget estimate of 62.34 billion in the current financial year. Receipts, the Receipts on federal PSDP are 5.37 billion, which is a miserable figure compared to 27.5 billion in 2017-18 before the advent of this current government. The foreign project assistance is estimated at rupees 71 billion. Received from provincial owned resources, accounts of tax and non-tax receipts are estimated at rupees 329 billion, which constitute 27.5% of the total receipts. This is an increase of 4.8% over estimates of 313.4 billion in the current financial year. So the total budget outlay for financial year 2020-21 is estimated at 1,477 billion, as against budget estimates of 1,241 billion in the current financial year. This shows an overall increase of 19%. The current expenditure of province is projected at rupees 1.14 trillion, which includes current expenditures of 1.089 trillion and current expenditure of rupees 59.49 billion. So the development expenditure of the province is estimated at rupees 329 billion, which includes rupees 222.5 billion of provincial ADP, rupees 30 billion for district ADP, foreign project assistance of 71 billion, and a paltry 5.4 billion of federal PSDP grants, the lowest ever in the foreseeable past. In financial year 2021-22, we contemplate to complete 1,033 schemes, and maximum resources have been provided for those. All schemes with a throw forward of less than 100 million have been given full allocation. In addition, all schemes where 70% expenditure has been made have been given full allocation, and in this way, we will inshallah strive to complete the highest ever number of schemes in any financial year, 1,033 in next financial year. So keeping in view the non-development development expenditure priorities, the major milestones of objectives are provide infrastructure to educational institutions for increased enrollment, improve and upgrade health facilities and managing available health institutions, provide nutrition support, community infrastructure funds, income generating grants, micro assets and low cost housing for reducing poverty of poorest of the poor, increase agricultural productivity and value chain, conservation of water for agriculture, industrial and municipal consumption, provide clean drinking water and safe disposal of sewage, improve connectivity between major cities and towns of the province, increase road connectivity and plant mass transit for Karachi City. Mr. Speaker, the government has remained overly cautious about growth government vis-a-vis service delivery. We believe in minimum government with maximum governance. Even though it is the responsibility of government to create employment opportunities, however, such creation of opportunities should be carefully planned. During our tenure, we have only made appointment based on need, ensuring meritocracy. For next financial year, we have created 2,600 posts. So our primary focus was on health, and I've told you the major initiatives that we are taking in the health sector. I will just mention a few initiatives that we are taking, sir. We are allocating 7.6 billion in the next financial year with an increase of 10% for 9 vertical programs to combat, control polio, TB, AIDS, the Lady Health Program, hepatitis control, expanded program immunization and others. We are dedicated to improve health cover and we are striving to maximize the facility at the primary level. On the other hand, we are trying to improve service delivery and enhance operational capabilities at the secondary and tertiary levels. Around 62 schemes likely to be completed up to June 2021. This will increase access to quality healthcare services network province-wide. Resource allocation is done as per the real needs and requirements of the people. This has improved both the process of budgeting and provision of health services. Sir, there are many initiatives taken. I have listed all of them in my policy statement, which is present in the budget. Sir, one effort that I would like to mention here is that the Sindh government constructed the Sindh Infectious Disease Hospital and Research Center. Looking at the COVID problem, we immediately moved, and within 3 months we constructed this hospital, and this hospital is the only hospital in the country providing services for infectious disease. It is the hospital where under one roof 3,049 patients have been treated, which is a record, and no other hospital, either public or private, can boast that we've done. And this is the first choice hospital for all patients, and all the health provided here is done free of cost. All the treatment is done free of cost. Sir, I will, in addition to the investments given, the allocations given to the health department, we have given additional funds to the tune of 6.3 billion to AIDAS Hospital, to NIB, to Dr. Panjwani Center for Molecular Medicine and Drug Research, to SAUT, to Shahid Benazir Institute of Trauma, Karachi, the Surgical Health Department for establishment of 100-bedded hospital and maternity home at Eidgah, Karachi, Sindh Institute of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, Health Department was Sindh Forensic DNA Serology Lab, University of Karachi, to meet the requirements of modern investigation of various crimes and the identification of dead bodies in the result of disasters. Aman Healthcare Service for Ambulance Services, People's Medical College, Hospital Nawabcha, District Shahid Benazirabad, and Civil Hospital Khairpur for job offers. Building on our success and as a continuation of our policies, we have a detailed roadmap for expanding our health sector. For the next financial year, for current revenue side, we plan to unfold the following interventions. Funds to the tune of 24.7 billion have been allocated specifically to deal with the pandemic. 964 new posts will be created at different levels for health management. 18.32 billion has been proposed for purchase of drugs and medicine. Rupees 2 billion is being kept for purchase of PCR and PPE kits in context with COVID-19. Rupees 646 billion has been proposed for purchase of medical gas, oxygen keeping in view of the pandemic situation. Sir, in addition to above, 8.2 billion rupees has been allocated to PPHI, 7.1 billion rupees to SIUT, 4.5 billion rupees to Indus Hospital, which includes 2.5 billion for current expenditure and 2 billion for the expansion of the Indus Hospital. Rupees 6.1 billion has been allocated to NICVT and 6.4 billion to SSCVT. Rupees 4 billion has been allotted to Institute of Peer Abdul Qadir Shah Jilani Gambat. Rupees 473 million has been allocated to Institute of Pathology and Visual Sciences Hyderabad. Rupees 600 million for Jacobabad Institute of Medical Sciences. Rupees 2 billion has been allocated to Shahid Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto Trauma Center Karachi. Rupees 500 million for NIBT. Rupees 1.2 billion for Child Life Foundation. Rupees 300 million has been allocated for Institute of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation Karachi. Sir, we are allocating rupees 300 million for 10 thalassemia centers at Tadeen, Hyderabad, Shikarpur, Mithi, Shahid Benazirabad, Thatta, Sichawal, Hyderabad, Karachi and Umarkot. Rupees 170 million has been proposed for 10 dialysis centers. So for the next financial year, from development side, we plan to unfold the following interventions. COVID response and other natural calamity programs in Sindh, co-finance with federal government with 50% share from government of Sindh at an estimated cost of rupees 20.8 billion. Establishment of biosafety lab 3XM infectious disease hospital. Provision of linear accelerator with integrated high-field MRI system at Dow University of Health Sciences Karachi. Provision and installation of on-site oxygen generation medical gas plants and tertiary care hospitals in Sindh. Sir, I will move on to medical education now. Besides health services, medical education is crucial for maintenance and accreditation of standards in health services. Therefore, the medical education has received a substantial increase in its budget to produce a better human resource for health and medical services. Following are some of the key budget benchmarks. The overall 45% increase of rupees 2.846 billion is proposed in medical education, financing its budget from rupees 6.2 billion to rupees 9.14 billion. In SNE, new total 691 posts are proposed with financial implications of rupees 509.79 million. Besides, rupees 75.314 million are proposed to purchase of machinery and rupees 26.4 million are proposed for purchase of furniture and fixtures. 12 nursing colleges are proposed to be adopted on recurring sector, transferring 302 posts and by creating 216 new posts with financial implications of rupees 466 million. Sir, I will move on to education. Education is the single most important factor in the development of a nation. The government of Sindh messages providing quality education to all, enabling our children to realize their full potential. US President Franklin D. Roosevelt famously said, democracy cannot exceed unless those who express their choice are prepared to choose wisely. The real safeguard of democracy, therefore, is education. Youth and our children are facing the future of a nation. Actually, the future of a nation. It is the single most important factor in the development of a nation. The government of Sindh messages providing quality education to all, enabling our children to realize their full potential. We must take a good look at the curriculum being followed in the schools to ensure that they are free from outdated ideas and train our teachers so that they take a genuine interest in stimulating keenness and curiosity in our children from the outset, such that our future generations comprises of thinkers, innovators in every field of inquiry. Thus, the people's government has allocated the highest percentage resources towards education in 2021-22. It will see an increase of 13.5% over allocation of current financial year. Sir, for the next financial year, we propose to enhance budget education to rupees 277.5 billion from the current 244.5 billion. Sir, in the current financial year, the ADP allocation for education sector was rupees 21.1 billion. It comprises of school education, college education, universities. In 2021-22, the government is increasing the ADP allocation for the education sector to rupees 26 billion. Sir, the major interventions for the next year I will list out. In the next financial year, the department has proposed 100 more shelterless schools for provision of buildings. Rupees 600 million has been given out for opening and operationalizing non-formal centers in the higher rate out of school children districts. Due to recent heavy urban flooding, huge losses of educational institutions have occurred in the province. Rupees 2.5 billion for primary schools and rupees 2 billion for secondary schools have been proposed for rehabilitation, repair, reconstruction in next year's ADP. So for college education, the budget is increased by 11.8% to rupees 22.8 billion from the current rupees 20.446 billion. For college education, an allocation of rupees 4 billion is proposed in the ADP for 43 ongoing and 64 new seats. So I have listed down the achievement of the Sindh Education Foundation, and this can be seen in the policy statement given by me. In the universities and boards, in the current financial year, the grant for public sector universities was rupees 11.07 billion. For the next financial year, volume of grant has been increased by 20% to rupees 13.314 billion. This is an amount of rupees 2 billion for registration, enrollment for annual examination fees of class 9 to 12. An amount of rupees 1.2 billion has been allocated for scholarships to students securing A1 grade in SSC in HSC Educational Board of Sindh. A grant of rupees 200 million has been allocated for Thar Institute of Engineering, Science and Technology, the NET campus for Tharparkar. Initially, the college had launched Bachelor of Science in Computer Science program in 2019. From this year, Civil Engineering program will be offered with an initial intake of 50 students. This will enable locals for higher education and research excellence in engineering and allied disciplines. Sir, I will talk about some of the pro-people and sustainable development measures. Sir, William Beveridge, a British economist, described the 5 economic giants: want, disease, ignorance, scholar and idleness. With all humility, I would like to say that this budget in specific and political government are essentially focused on combating these 5 issues. Sir, I'll just list out the major initiatives in the sector. 10 billion is proposed for cash transfers to individuals affected by COVID-19 under Sindh People Support Program through Social Protection Strategic Unit Social Welfare Department. These 3 billion is allocated for soft loan program for small and medium enterprises. Loan size will range from rupees 5 million to maximum of rupees 2 million. From rupees 0.5 million to rupees 2 million. An allocation of 3 billion is proposed under Poverty Alleviation Program for small farmers, community-based loans in rural areas. Loan size of rupees 25,000 using poverty reduction support of ongoing poverty reduction program by utilizing services of SRSO, NRSP, Third Team through Social Protection Strategic Unit, Social Welfare Department. Rupees 2 billion is earmarked for low-cost housing through PZ housing cells, catering needs for the people who either do not have their own houses or their houses are in dilapidated condition, posing risk to their life and property. Rupees 2 billion is earmarked for small business support funds in urban areas through Social Protection Strategic Unit, Social Welfare Department. Loan size will be maximum of rupees 0.2 million. Rupees 1 billion is kept for supporting technology-based startups, incubators and accelerated investment department. Rupees 2 billion is allocated for registration, enrollment and annual examination for class 9 to 12. Sir, government initiated poverty reduction program from 2 districts and has expanded it to 12 districts. Through this program, government has reached out to millions of women households. Success of Pakistan People's Party's poverty reduction program attracted European Union to join provincial government initiative through Sindh Union Council and Community Economic Strengthening Program in additional 8 districts. Under next generation reform, poverty reduction study has been developed which focuses on community-driven local development, rural and urban service, up through cluster approach and enterprise development. This approach is being implemented in district Chawal as pilot. Then I'll talk briefly about the Women Development Department. Government of Sindh has taken a number of steps towards economic, social, political and legal empowerment of women to realize the dream of Shaheed Mohtaram Bhutto, who wish to see the women of this country actively and equally participating in all walks of life. For next financial year, an allocation for Women Development Department has been increased from rupees 348.581 million to rupees 571.95 million. Rupees 320 million has been earmarked under Provisional ADP 2021-22, of which rupees 296 million are ongoing and rupees 24 million are for new schemes. Some of the important schemes are establishment of Women Development Complex, Health and Display Center, Working Women Hospital in Karachi, and Women Complaint Centers across Sindh. Sir, I'll talk a little about minorities. The Sindh government is still committed towards safeguard the rights of minorities as enshrined in the Constitution of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan under Article 25. We believe in equality. Our policies are not specific for any class, creed or gender. Despite the fact that benefits of a diverse program are all inclusive, we have proposed 750 million grant in aid current financial year. About 24,000 beneficiaries of minority community have been facilitated. Sir, the department intends to complete 5 individual ADP schemes and expand welfare funds to 30,000 beneficiaries of minorities during the next financial year. Moreover, department intends to start about 97 ADP schemes worth rupees 1.15 billion in financial year 2021-22. Sir, I'll move on to the empowerment of persons with disabilities. As a social responsibility, People's Government has taken extra measures for the welfare of differently abled persons. In this regard, the government has made some achievements during the last financial year and also plan to further improve the facilities in the coming year. Repair and renovation of 21 special education centers in province of Sindh, excluding centers of excellence, shall be completed till June 2021. Audiovisual library and special education complex will start on Karach shall be completed in June 2021. Center for Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder and Dyslexic Children, Karach, shall be completed till June 2021, and remaining revenue component will be completed during the next financial year 2021-22. Sindh Person with Disabilities Protection Authority has been established for protection of rights of persons with disabilities of Sindh province during the current financial year. Driving licenses are being issued to hearing impaired persons. The department has deployed more than 4,000 persons with disabilities in various departments of government of Sindh under 5% reserve quota for persons with disabilities. Food, diet, nutrition as a need of each and every enrolled special child has been served in the whole of the province during financial year 2021. Stipend of rupees 22,000 each to 3,500 enrolled children with disabilities has been provided. Pick and drop facilities provided to 3,500 enrolled children. For the next financial year, we are taking the following initiatives. Establishment of special education and rehabilitation complex at Chandra Muhammad Khan. Strengthen the special education teachers training academy in Hyderabad. Project Sindh Person with Disability Database Management Project to maintain data of persons with disabilities. Survey and collection of persons including children with disabilities. Strengthen sports activities among students with disabilities. Sir, the next chapter is on public-private partnership. Not only in Pakistan, the economist has acknowledged the work done by the Sindh government in public-private partnership. I would not read out the various successes. In current year, the Malid Expressway, the Link Road project, the Karachi Urban Road Initiative, water in sewage, the water in side, the supply of industrial water from the Napisa to Bajar, Karachi Hub Water Canal project, the wastewater treatment plant at T1, the Dhadeji Special Economic Zone, the Marble City project. In the health sector, various service provisions in the health sector like hospitals running in public-private partnership or the regional health centers, educational management organizations are running more than 80 public sector schools. In non-formal education, we have started doing work in public-private partnership. In information technology area, we are developing a technology park at NED University. On the tourism side, in public-private partnership, we are developing a Thampaka tourism project. Sir, I'll briefly talk about agriculture and irrigation. Socrates once said, nobody is qualified to become a statesman who is entirely ignorant about the problem of wheat. And I can simply say that this federal government is totally ignorant about the problem of wheat, and that is the cause of the suffering and the failure, the suffering of the people and the failure of this government, the federal government. So today agriculture is the mainstay of our economy, with over 60% of our population deriving the sustenance from it. The government of Sindh fully appreciates the importance of agriculture and is cognizant of our duties towards this sector. Government of Sindh is determined to improve the condition in the agriculture sector. It contributes 15 to 70% of wheat, 33 to 45% of rice, and 25% of sugarcane. For the next financial year, we propose to increase allocation to agriculture sector from rupees 14.8 billion to rupees 15.26 billion. In ADP, we had allocated 2.28 billion in the current financial year. In the next year, an amount of rupees 5 billion is being kept for agriculture. There are various World Bank assisted projects in the agriculture sector, and I have listed those out in my policy statement, which has been submitted to the Assembly. So in the law and order, in keeping the principles of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who said that scrupulous maintenance of enforcement of law and order are the prerequisites of all progress, the Sindh government has kept law and order as one of its topmost priorities. Sir, from a point where Karachi was the 6th most dangerous city in the world, today it is ranked as the 180th most dangerous city in the world. Law and order has been restored not only in the cities but also in the rural areas, where before the Pakistan People's Party government, people could not move off the sunset, and they used to travel even during the day in convoys protected by the military and the police. Now there is no area in Sindh which you can call a no-go area. So on the energy side, we have made tremendous progress. The third coal project is being talked about in the entire world. There is lots of interest in it throughout the world. We are currently producing 660 megawatts of electricity. To date, the Sindh Coal Mining Company has produced more than 7,000 gigawatt hours of electricity and contributed it to the national grid, enlightening the whole of Pakistan. In addition to that, another 1,320 megawatts are under construction in Block 4 and Block 2, and in addition, in Block 1 being done by Sindh Resource Center, a 1,320 megawatt power plant is under construction, and we hope to have these completed in the year 2022. So the Sindh Transmission and Dispatch Company is a success story. This company is providing power from Nooriabad to Karachi, and it has been worked successfully. It is making profits, and it has given back some of its equity which the government of Sindh has needed to bring back its loans. So the alternate energy side, we have been able to construct through the private sector around 1,300 megawatts of wind power projects in this province. The Energy Department and the government of Sindh have facilitated this. In the village electrification program, we have electrified 1,789 villages. In the oil and gas sector, we, through the provincial government, have supported Sri Southern Gas Company in providing electricity to 855 villages. In the alternate energy, various milestones have been achieved. 225 primary health facilities are electrified through 352 solar PV systems in 13 districts of Sindh. 25 wind power projects equaling 1,300 megawatts are injecting energy. Sir, I would like to talk about the Sindh Nooriabad power project, which in recent days has become a victim, unfortunately, of negative propaganda. Sindh government took this initiative and set up the Sindh Nooriabad Power Company in public-private partnership mode to generate 100 megawatt power. this natural gas-based power plant achieved commercial operation in January 2018 and is, alhamdulillah, supplying uninterrupted power to K Electric since then. The city of Karachi is the sole beneficiary of this uninterrupted power supply from Sindh Budget Company Limited. Sir, I can proudly say that this power plant is a self-sustaining company and met all power demands of KE. Nooriabad is highest on the merit order of K Electric. It rates even higher than K Electric's own plant, and because of its low tariff, the Nooriabad power plant is dispatched before K Electric's own power plant. So till end of May 2021, the power plant has dispatched 2,604 gigawatt hours electricity to the city of Karachi. The total revenue that this project has earned till now is 28.4 billion rupees. The company has paid 4 billion in taxes, has so far repaid its due loan and made repayments of rupees 1.57 billion against principal amount and rupees 3.24 billion under markup. In addition, profits accrued by the company until June 2020 were rupees 1.32 billion. So the House may recall the recent total blackout in the country which affected Karachi too. SNPCL was among the first power company which came back online in 30 minutes and provided necessary support to K Electric for restoration power in the city. So this is a success story. Despite of whatever negative propaganda is said, despite of whatever coercive measures have been taken at the behest of this failed government who has not been able to add anything in this country, this power plant, alhamdulillah, has been running 24 hours a day, 365 days a year and providing electricity to the city of Karachi. It has not been closed for a single day. Sir, I'll briefly talk about the road infrastructure and transport sector. Government of Sindh has assigned top priority to road sector funding so as to achieve enhanced level of connectivity with particular emphasis on strategic access roads that will improve the socio-economic condition of the people and facilitate poverty alleviation. The government is also injecting more money to improve existing infrastructure. During the current financial year, we had planned to add 798 kilometers to our road network. I am pleased to inform this August House that despite the pandemic, 90% of the target of the current financial year will be achieved in June 2021. For the next financial year, we have increased the ADP allocation for the road sector, for road and communication sector to rupees 38.2 billion from rupees 19.1 billion. An allocation of 3.86 billion has also been kept for maintenance of road infrastructure. The major roads constructed during this year and are planned for next year have been listed in the policy document. Sir, our government believes in engaging private sector to assist government undertake projects of national importance. Our initiatives have been successful and have yielded favorable results. Through public-private partnerships, we have initiated 7 PPP projects, out of which 3 projects, namely Hyderabad Mirpur Dual Carriageway, Sarahara Mulakatiyar Bridge and the Karachi Thatta Dual Carriageway have been successfully completed. The government of Sindh, with assistance of Asian Development Bank, has conceived the Sindh Provincial Road Improvement Project for construction of an improvement of 328 kilometers of following inter-district roads, and I'll just quickly name them: 67 kilometers from Tandopam Khan to Badin, 64 kilometers from Khyber to Sangad, 63 kilometers from Sangad to Mirpur Khas, 54 kilometers from Digadi to Hokot, 44 kilometers from Khul to Kandkot, 36 kilometers from Sherapur to Ratodero. We had made a saving of 4.09 billion in this scheme, and additional 3 roads have been constructed from it. Sir, I will move on to the local government sector. The founding father of Pakistan People's Party is credited with presenting the Pakistan's Constitution of 1973. Our leaders have remained cognizant of the fact that societies can only progress if they are provided with a robust local government system. The idea was clearly spelled out in the Constitution, and it is our responsibility to ensure service delivery through local councils. During current financial year, rupees 78 billion are earmarked, and the next financial year, rupees 82 billion have been earmarked for the local government departments. Sir, I will quickly talk about projects of Karachi. Sir, currently, in our annual development program, foreign district program, the public-private partnership program, a total of 1,072 projects are under construction in Karachi. So the total amount of these projects in Karachi is rupees 991.73 billion. Almost 1 trillion rupees projects are being done by the provincial government alone in Karachi. For the next financial year, the total allocation for development projects in Karachi is 109.36 billion. So there are 16 PPP mode projects total with a total cost of 288.96 billion in the road infrastructure, water, information technology and cell sector. Sir, we along with the development agencies, the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, started a number of projects. The project Competitive and Liberal City of Karachi, the Karachi Neighborhood Improvement Project, Sir, the Karachi Transport Project Bay, the Red Line is being constructed at the ADP, the Yellow Line Project is being constructed with the help of the World Bank loan. The Link Road project to Karangi at Mission, expressway from Manipur to Y Junction, the interchange at ICI Bridge, all these projects are being undertaken, and in the current financial year, we completed out of budget projects of at least 2 billion rupees in Karachi alone. Sir, I will just move on to the relief measures. Sir, I'll go to pay and allowances of government employees, something that all the employees here are waiting for. Sir, the output of government is directly related to the performance of every individual employee. All the employees of government of Sindh have my gratitude. For next financial year, we are proposing an increase of 20% in the basic salary of all employees. And sir, I guarantee you, the remuneration of our employees in Sindh is more than any other place in Pakistan. This is a guarantee that I give you. Sir, in addition to above, for the welfare of labor class and in line with the increase in pay of government employees, the minimum wage rate is also being increased to rupees 25,000 per month. And sir, in order for the government employees to get this 25,000, we are giving a fixed rate personal allowance from grade 1 to 5 so that the minimum salary of the government employee is also raised to rupees 25,000. Sir, there are certain fiscal measures which are listed in my policy statement, and I will not talk about them here. They are already listed in the policy statement, which are part of the budget document that I am submitting to the House. I will move to the concluding remarks of my speech today. Sir, I would like to thank you for granting me the honor to present the Sindh Budget 2021-22. I would like to thank the opposition that, as always, they have shown that they are not sincere to the people of this province. Instead of listening to the budget speech, they created that कंटेनर की सियासत असेंबली में भी जारी रहती है, वो आज इन सब ने दिखा दिया है। और ये कोई सरप्राइजिंग बात नहीं। अच्छा, ये समझे थे कि हमें पता नहीं परेशान होंगे। भाई, आपकी कैपेबिलिटी, आपकी कॉम्पिटेंस मैं जानता हूँ, आपको भी जानता हूँ, आपके लीडरों को भी जानता हूँ, इनकी कॉम्पिटेंस जीरो है, जो इस मुल्क को इस मुश्किल में धकेल रहे हैं। और इंशाअल्लाह ताला पाकिस्तान पीपल्स पार्टी बिलावल भुट्टो जरदारी आगे इस मुल्क को budget is a reflection of the aspirations and a commitment on our part that we will make every effort to uphold the trust that the people of Sindh have reposed in us. So today, we have managed to improve our overall service delivery mechanism. Our healthcare system is functional and serving a high number of people. The system of education has improved and adopted to new mode of imparting knowledge with changing times. The networks of roads, canals and waterworks are a testament to our commitment to improve infrastructure. We have taken key steps for the most vulnerable and marginalized sector of the population so that they have a strong safety net to see through their bad times. Mr. Speaker, the fundamental of our character as people are not changed, still determined, still generous. That is what got us through the last year. It is what this which will guide us through the next decade and beyond. This time last year we set out to deliver on promises we made to the people of Sindh. But the most important promise was implicit and in truth made by every government in respect of the country. And this is to prove what must be done when the danger is imminent and when no one else can see. Today we can set out plan to protect the jobs and livelihoods of people, but promises that underpin that plan remain unchanged from those we placed ourselves to 12 long months ago. To unite and lead, to improve our education system, to keep our streets safe, to keep our health services strong, to support the most vulnerable, to reform and improve public services, to spread prosperity through development, and yes, to be honest and fair in all that we do. An important moment is upon us, a moment of challenge and of change, of difficulties, yes, but of possibilities too. This is a budget that meets that moment. It takes into account our strengths and challenges. It doesn't attempt to whitewash our inadequacies. It sets out on the path to a future. The opportunities are maximized through an examination of this involved. Sir, before I end, I would once again like to thank the honorable members of the House. Sir, I would like to thank you for allowing me to present this budget. I thank the staff of the Assembly who have cooperated and who have worked hard to make this day possible. The finance department who worked day and night during this pandemic and been able to come up with this budget document and the necessary papers. The planning and development department who again during difficult times, during the pandemic, worked full time to make the annual development plan. We are grateful to our revenue authorities, the excise and taxation department, Sindh Revenue Board, the Board of Revenue, who have worked hard during the last few months to come out with this budget. And inshallah ta'ala, we will come up to the aspirations of the people of this province. Sir, I pray that Almighty Allah guides us and gives us the strength to achieve our targets for the prosperity of Sindh and the prosperity of Pakistan. Pakistan, Zindabad.
Well, budget speech of the Honorable Chief Minister is over. I am very grateful.
Sir, शुक्र है सब हंस रहे हैं। शोरूम बचा के ड्रामा करके आप सब हंस रहे हैं, सबकी चेहरों पे हंसी है, नजर आ रहे हैं, चीज पे बहुत ज्यादा है, सब हंस रहे हैं। बहुत शुक्रिया आप लोगों का।
Anyway, तो आज उनकी परफॉर्मेंस वही रही है जो हमेशा रहती है, बट इस दफ़ा इनकी तरीके का डिफरेंट था और इज़हार भाई ने शायद इनको समझाया था कि किस तरह आप लोग जाएं और हमें अभी फिक्स करना पड़ेगा 5 दिन डिस्कशन के। We'll fix 5 days for discussion. अगर उसमें भी यही हाल रहा तो वो फिर खुद सब लोग अपने अपने तरीके से अपने हिसाब से चलेंगे, क्योंकि जैसे इस हाउस में बिहेवियर होगा उसी तरफ से मेरा बिहेवियर भी होगा। तो आई डोंट वांट टू डू दैट, बट इफ़ यू फोर्स मी हाउस का डिस्को बना के इसको पूरा कोरम ख़राब करें तो ये तो बड़ी मजाक की बात है। मजाक ही करते रहते हैं आप लोग। मेरे ख्याल है बाहर ट्रेनिंग है आपकी, बट इट इज़ वेरी सैड जिस तरह का एटीट्यूड आप आज रखा है, आप लोगों ने हमेशा रखते आए हैं। तो whatever is there, now the house is adjourned to meet again on Friday the 18th June 2021 at 2 p.m.